John Morse room. The last time Mrs. Borden was last seen alive, around 9 a.m., by her stepdaughter, the infamous Lizzie Borden, and maid Bridget. At the time Mrs. Borden was killed, Lizzie's sister Emma was out of town, and Mr. Borden was out in Fall River, as was Uncle John. Lizzie said she was downstairs ironing handkerchiefs. Mrs. Borden was killed in the room where her uncle had the night sleepover. This is now one of the most requested rooms for overnight stays in the historic Lizzie Borden Axe Murder House and Museum. The John Morse room, also known as the murder room. There was no sign of a struggle, and there was no defensive wounds. Peculiar, isn't it? The evidence is unclear whether she was facing her attacker, didn't fight back or couldn't fight back, standing up or kneeling. But we do know where her wounds were. One blow struck her above her ear on the left-hand side of her back head. Another blow between her shoulder blades that was 4 inches deep. The remaining 17 blows were struck between her head and ear for a total of 19 times. She was eventually found lying in her pool of her own coagulated blood. Between the stomach and the blood contents of both victims. She was pronounced dead around 9:30 a.m., 1 hour and a half prior to Mr. Borden's death. In the photo in the dining room where the autopsy was done, you can see she is lying flat on her stomach, surrounded by her own blood. In the mirror, you can see the camera that was used to take the photos. Did you note that the Borden crime scene photos were the first crime scene photos ever taken in the United States? How is that for a morbid fun fact?